Hello, hi loves. It's been a minute since I've been on here, but I am sort of back. Depends on how this goes. But if you are new, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. And if you've been a subscriber of mine and still are here, thank you also for sticking around with my wishy-washy uploading behavior. But yeah, I'll try to be consistent. Inshallah. I've just been going through a lot of things personally, and please make dua for me for protection, dua for healing. And yeah, but let's get started with this video. So I'm back doing a review for another telenovela. This is a new telenovela that just started on One Magic called Gqeberha. It's about this rich guy, Gqeberha. Yes, Gqeberha, and he is a multimillionaire, a philanthropist, a businessman, and the biggest one,
a polygamist.
So yeah, the plot when the story started for me was very confusing because we just saw people talking on this beautiful setting by the waterfront, and then we just see his son. He looks like a sourpuss. He doesn't want to be there. And then we see people coming on the shore on boats, but he has security all around the area that they were sitting in, and it was just like a bit confusing for me. And so yeah, the plot is he gets shot by the assassins, only to find out that the assassins were hired by his second wife and his best friend, who is sleeping with his second wife. Bold and the beautiful happening around. But yeah, that's basically it. And I thought the son was the one who was involved when I saw him sitting there looking like a sourpuss, but then only to find out that he isn't. He is the favorite son. But then also the story is centered around the son and the father being in love with the same girl. Child, it's bad. So yeah, the father and the son are in love with the same girl. The son sees the girl first. This is like the wife kind of plot. The son sees the girl first, but obviously because his dad has resources and he only has Stocky, the dad gets to meet the girl first. So yeah, it's the first episode, second episode, like, it was just a bit slow. The story development was very, very slow, and even now we are on episode 8 and it's still just it's only just getting interesting now. But the past few episodes from episode 1, let me just say 1 until 6, for me it was a bore. The storyline was lackluster at best, but it doesn't hurt to see Tulane every day of the week because he is a beautiful specimen. We cannot hide that. We cannot lie about that. He really is a beautiful man. And I like that they have new people that we've never seen on our screen before, which is the most interesting part. I mean, Stocky, we've seen him, and obviously the first wife, Bulelwa. I really want to be like Bulelwa, guys. Oh my gosh, like, she is such a not a strong woman. She has been through life. She knows life. Like, if I ever am in a polygamous marriage, God forbid I'm not, because I'm too fiery for that. I'm too fiery to be sharing my husband. But God forbid, if it ever happens that I am in one, I would really love to be like her. And if I am the first wife, or even if I am not the first wife, but I would really like to have the wisdom and the knowledge and how to react to your husband's unsatisfactory behavior, because that's exactly what Luzuko is. And he finally said it to her, that he will never be satisfied because she asked him, like, dude, will you ever be satisfied with the amount of wives that you have? You already have 3 wives and you're adding a fourth. And she said that the 3rd wife is like a child, and which is the same thing as Anati. I feel like Anati is still young also, and which makes sense for her to be with Tulane instead of her father. Like, it makes no sense because she is so wishy-washy in her decisions as well, because one day she wants to marry this man, second day she's just like, oh, I don't want to marry him. Like, girl, make your decision. Do you want to marry this man because of the potential life that he could live, he could give you, meaning security, and learn to love him, which is, for me, I feel like she can't even learn to love him, because in the date scene where they go out on the boat, when he came behind her and touched her, she felt really uncomfortable. So if you're going to be uncomfortable with your future husband, how comfortable will you get when you get married? So it didn't make sense it didn't make any sense for me. She was just like a child, undecided about which crayon to pick and color with. But yeah, we find out Zimkita is the person who tried to kill her husband, and I feel like Zimkita is using her husband's favoritism of Tulane to use her son, because her son thinks she only shot him because of the favoritism. No, it's not because of that. She shot her husband so she can get everything, and obviously leave the other wives out of the riches, and then live a nice life with her side piece, Msimelo. And Msimelo is the husband's best friend, and she's also friends with Msimelo's wife. Guys, it's such a such a mind if, because it's just like, guys, you literally just like circling around here. How disrespectful can you be? But so Tulane finds out that the person who survived, or who was part of the assassins, was his friend Usfiso, who his dad helped in some way. We don't even know how he helped him because we didn't get the background of that part. It just moves like, it just moves without filling in the missing pieces that we were supposed to get from the first 5 episodes. But anyways, I also feel like Nontle is not seen in the Gqeberha family. She's not seen by the mother. She's not seen by Tulane's mom. She's not seen by his dad. She's definitely not seen by Tulane, because Tulane wants to marry another girl. So his dad keeps on saying to him he needs to bring a wife. And why I say she's not seen is because when they had the Sunday lunch, when the dad announced that he's taking a 4th wife, Bulelwa, which is Tulane's mom, the first wife, she showed her disdain for the girl when Tulane was talking to her, and she quickly took him away from her, like, I don't like this nonsense in my house type of vibe. But you could tell that she does not like Nontle at all. And his dad, when he says, when is he bringing a wife, he knows Nontle exists, but he doesn't acknowledge that she is the one that he's actually going to marry. And then Tulane said he hasn't found the girl to marry. So already you have a girlfriend that everybody knows, who's also your dad's best friend's daughter, but you're not going to marry her. And his dad also said when they went to lunch to at Anati's house, he said to Tulane, you need to marry a girl who looks as beautiful as Anati. My nigga, he has a woman, but you don't want that woman for him. It's clear they don't want Nontle to be the wife. And also, when Nontle's mom asked Tulane when he's bringing his uncles, he kept on saying his uncles are getting lost because they keep on changing the color of the outside paint of their house so much. And also, I mean, he's chasing a different skirt that he wants to marry. Like, he is in love with Anati. But yeah, episode 7, Anati gets kidnapped. So that was just in a nutshell of episode 1 until 6. Simula gets shot by Sfiso. He goes to the hospital, but Zumkita leaves him bleeding. Like, if that does not tell that man that she does not love him and just using him, I don't know what else has to happen for him to see that she does not love him. She just needs to get out of this marriage, and he is kind of like a way out for her. But anyways, episode 7, Anati gets to meet the entire family. Nobom is definitely not hiding how she feels about her dad's new wife. She's the same age as her, so the lunch goes well, because I mean, Anati's family is really sweet, and Bulelo is also very sweet and welcoming, regardless of how she feels about her husband taking a 4th wife. But yeah, the lunch goes very well, and then there's a moment where Anati asks, they kind of bond over the ingredients of what's in the muffins. But then when Anati asks Nomomu for the recipe, she's like, maybe I'll give it to you. So it's kind of like she wants to hate her, but like she can't really hate her because she's such a nice girl and she's such a wholesome girl also. So it's hard to hate someone like that. But anyways, they go back home to Elalini, and Sizwe, who's Anati's ex, comes rushing, and he's going insane about how she's marrying a man who's old, who's money, blah 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 blah. And then they go and they talk. So the talk doesn't really go well, because he ends up calling Anati a hoe, saying that she's hoeing herself for money. At that time, Anati hasn't even kissed this man, hasn't touched this man in any form, shape, nothing, not even held hands with him. The only closeness that has happened is when they went on that date and she was reeling the fish in. It's the only time that she actually got touched by him, not that she touched him. She hasn't even slept with this man. So it was like such an insult to her that she got so upset that she slapped him. And he couldn't believe that she did that. Like, he couldn't believe that she slapped him. And he was like, no, you're not leaving until you admit to me that you're with this man for his money. And they got into a little scuffle, and she fell and she hit her head, and he ended up tying her up. And yeah, he was like, you're not leaving here until you tell me the truth. Like, you tell me that you are marrying this man for money, and I built this house for us. He's just like saying a whole lot of things. He sounds like a crazy person. So he's Anati's family calls Tulane, and they let him know that Anati has been gone since the afternoon when she left with her ex, and he was showing signs of being a little crazy. Yeah, he was a little cuckoos, no lie. So Tulane is just like, yeah, no, I'm coming. So he leaves the mission that he was put on while he was burying money for Sfiso, 5 million, so Sfiso can tell them who tried to kill his dad. But that has to wait because Anati is in trouble, and I mean, she comes first regardless. So yeah, that happens, and then Anati and Sfiso are going back and forth, and she's just asking him to let her go, and she's just like, I loved you, blah 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 blah, how could you do this to me, I built this house for us. And then she finally says, okay, yeah, I am marrying this man for his money. And yeah, so Zumkita is trying to run away and leave her family, leave her kids, so that she can save herself from her husband who's gonna kill her because she tried to kill him. But yeah, anyways, all I care about honestly is Tulane finding Anati. The whole entire time I was praying that he actually is the one who finds her, because I want him to finally get that recognition, or to be seen as a potential bae for her. because like even though like they've been around each other, like there would be looks that she would give him and looks that he would give her, because he's so in love with her. Like he just smiles and just like looks at her in a daze. So I really wanted him to find her. I'm just a person who loves love, guys. Like I will ship love. If it's good love, I will do it. Plus, I think Tulani is the perfect fit for Nati because they are the same age, and his dad is just way too old for her, and Abafanilani. But anyways, what happens? Oh, so he calls his dad and lets him know what's happening, and then he calls his dad also. His dad calls him back because his dad was out on a date with wife number 3, because wife number 3 is having a meltdown that already there's wife number 4 coming and she doesn't even have any security, which is a child. So yeah, he was trying to soften her so she feels like she is loved, which I think he actually does love her, from how he's so attentive and how he speaks to her. And I mean, maybe he is a man of words, but like with her and compared to Zimkita and him, their relationship is completely different. And how his relationship with Bulela, you can tell he loves Bulela because she's the matriarch of the family, but how he treats Zuki is very soft, because she is the soft life girl. So he treats her very soft and is very attentive to her feelings, and he's very considerate to her feelings, even though he has chosen number 4. But like he was trying to assure her that she is still very, very important to him. And I think she is. And I don't think she should be threatened by another girl coming in. But anyways, yeah, he calls Tulani back, and Tulani tells him that he's on his way to find this person, and yeah, he sees something, he will call him back. So Tulani finally gets there, and this man slaps Anati because Anati says the relationship is over and she needs to make a life for herself. He takes out his gun. He's a typical the typical cop, I would say, Sizwe. Like, his gun gives him power, the title he probably has gives him power, and he is a cop in the village. So, I mean, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to me? You're a girl who comes from a very poor family, and I try to elevate you or whatever. But yeah, he puts his gun away on the side, and then Tulani gets there and he's just like, don't even think about touching the gun, and then they start shooting at each other. I really hated that scene for many reasons, and the popping of the guns, I also hated it. It was just all wrong. Like, some of the acting in the show is just like bad. But yeah, he rescues her and ties her, and she gives him this big hug. She literally jumps on him. I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. Literally, Tulani and Anati are my people. So I get so excited. And then obviously he takes her back home, and when they get there, his dad is there. And yeah, she hugs everybody in the house, and how awkward for me. It was very uncomfortable, guys. It was really, really uncomfortable. It makes no sense. Like, it absolutely makes no sense. I don't know how the writers thought this was the right thing to do, or the right way. I don't know. But he says, well, Nluzuwa says to Anati, she must come and give him a hug. So he calls her my love, and then she goes to him. Even when she goes to him, she doesn't like run to this man, because she still doesn't know this man. Like, guys, it it moved like 360. It moved so quick. It was like me doing a 220 on an 80 road, like doing a 220 on an 80 road. But anyways, yeah, she goes to him and she gives him a hug. And you can see Tulane there is just very uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable for him. I was uncomfortable for myself. I was uncomfortable for Anati. I don't understand how they think that fit makes sense. Like, because does not make sense. It doesn't even look good. So her grand decides that Anati should go with Luzu. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why? Why would you want that? So she's like, no, I'm not going anyway. I'm gonna stay here. And even Talana's just like, and the grand's like, no, what if he comes back? And she's like, no, Granny, I'll stay here. And then Luzu was like, no, what will happen is Tulana's gonna stay. I'm like, push them together, push them together, push them together, yes. So yeah, he's like, Tulana's gonna stay. Tulana's smile was so big, guys. It was like a cashier cat. And so obviously the dad leaves, Tulana stays, Tulana's outside, just like keeping guard. He's sitting by the door with his gun, and then Anati comes out and he's like, how aren't you like asleep or whatever? And she's like, no, I bought you like a coffee. Oh, she's like, no, I couldn't sleep. And then she's like to him, would you like some coffee? So what he hears is, do you want me to kiss you? And she's like, and he's like, what? And she's like, no, would you like some coffee? And he's like, yeah. And then he just shakes his head. It's just like, what? Am I dreaming or whatever? So she goes, and then Zimkita says bye to her kids. And well, they don't know that she's running away, the two, the girl and the last one. They don't know that she's leaving. Only the first one knows that she's leaving. So she's like, no, I'm just going to Naisna for a little R&R, whatever. But on her way, running away, she gets a flat tire. So she tries to change her tire, but she doesn't have a spare. And then as she is waiting there, because I mean, like, there's nobody trying to help her, it's at night, no one's gonna stop for you, even if you are driving a Merc and you're a beautiful lady. So luckily a car comes. When it comes, I'm just thinking, who's this? But luckily it's her husband. So I don't know if she called him because she couldn't call anyone, no calls were going through, so I don't know how she didn't call him actually. And because of the conversation that they had. So she's like, no, I was trying to go to Naisna, and he's like, Naisna's the other way around. And then she's like, no, I was trying to go to Hogsburg. And then he's like, no, let me just like take you home and then we'll leave the car here. So she's like, yeah, my bags are in the back. She takes the gun and they get in the car. As they're driving in the car, he gets a call from Skiso. So Sfiso's like, yeah, no, I got the money, and so the person who was trying to kill you is Ganiso. That's a lie. Ganiso wouldn't try to kill him. Ganiso is his cousin. So I'm just like, So Zimkita was ready to kill her husband in the car when the call came in, because she was touching the gun. And only for him, or only for Sfiso to say Ganiso is the one who was trying to kill him. And he's just like, Ganiso. And then it makes sense why he said Ganiso. But then it goes back to Anati and Tulane, and Anati is giving Tulane the coffee, and Tulane takes the coffee and holds her hand while taking the coffee. So like slightly holds her hand. And they look at each other and it's just like, oh, chemistry, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. So it's like fireworks. And then they both lean in and they salute with the kiss. It's so cute, guys. I was just like, yes, more people. And then it goes to Sfiso and he's begging for his life, and I'm just like, how Smelele, when did he get out of hospital? And he's wearing a hospital gown with a coat. Anyways, it goes to him and Sfiso's begging for his life. He's like, I'll share this money with you. And Smelele is like, dude, I am tired of you blackmailing me. I am just sick and tired of you Episode tries to run, shoots him in the back. He falls, and then he just shoots him with all the bullets, I guess, in the gun. All 6, if there are 6 or 8, I don't know. I don't own a gun, never used a gun before, so I don't know how many are in the magazine. So anyways, yeah, he shoots him, dead. So now Smelelo has 5 million rand. What? But anyways, going back to Zimkhitha and what I think about her relationship with Luzugo, I also think Zimkhitha is not rated in the family. Reason being is Bulela doesn't like Zimkhitha. She doesn't really acknowledge her. Nawoma definitely doesn't like Zimkhitha. Zimkhitha doesn't like Tulane. For one, that's the one person she does not like, and the fact that she is next to take on the business, the family business, it just makes her very angry because her son has a business degree and Tulane doesn't have one. But she's not rated in the family because nobody actually gives her any respect, if I can say that. Because let's take Tulane, even though Tulane was the one calling and Zimkhitha didn't answer his call when the dad was shot, it shows the kind of dynamic, the relationship dynamic they have. And even when Tulane called his brother was just like, what does he want? So it's pretty clear how the dynamic is in the family, because when Tulane called Zuki, him and Zuki have like a very friendly relationship where she was like, oh, my favorite son, basically. She was like, how's my favorite son? And they have like a very, I think have a very young banter type of relationship, and he respects her as the dad's wife, even though she is young. But when it comes to Zimkhitha, it's just like, bruh, she's there, she's my dad's wife, she is my mom's sister wife, she bore children for him. So yeah, even when he went to collect the money, because the dad left the money at Zimkhitha's place, he just knocked and entered without even waiting for them to say come in. And then he was like, oh yeah, no, dad said I must pick up the money, I guess that's it. And then he saw the bags, and he was like, oh, are you going somewhere? And she was like, yeah, to a spa. And he was like, how nice. And he just left. Like, it doesn't even like greet, like he didn't even greet them. He just literally said, my dad said I must come pick up the money, and I'm guessing that is it. And even when they were together at church, at the house, it's like Bulela doesn't care about Zimkhitha, but when it comes to Zuki, she's very soft with Zuki. Even when Luzugo announced that he's getting married again, and Zuki started crying, the first thing that Bulela did is jumped Zimkhitha and went to Zuki and comforted her. So it's just like, you exist but you kind of don't exist. So her and Nontle for me are similar. They are kind of like in the same place. I think probably he was dating Zimkhitha and she accidentally got pregnant and he had to marry her because he wants his kid in the same place. I'd really like to get the backstory of that. But yeah, she doesn't have the relationship that the other two wives have with Uluzugo. And for her, that is sad. But I also think she does it to herself because she is a villain and she's there for money, purely for money. I don't even think she's there for love, if she even loved him before he got a third wife. But anyways, I am just hoping that Anati or Tulane are not dreaming and this is a real thing, they actually kiss for real, because that would make me really upset if it was one of them dreaming. That would really suck, because I mean, it makes sense for Tulane to have the girl. Anyways, that is all that I have for you this week. So I'm gonna post once a week. I'm just gonna recap from Monday until Friday, and yeah, it's just gonna be one video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to comment down below, share it with your friends, and tell me if you like it. I mean, if you want me to continue doing reviews for this show, they're not going to be as detailed as The Wife was, because I mean it does play on a daily basis. So if I were to do a review of the entire episode, then the video is going to be way longer than it should be. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.